Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Brittany and thank you so much for tuning in to my very first video. I'm not sure how a lot of people introduce themselves on YouTube, so I was gonna hop straight in with an informative video of sorts. Those of you who have followed me on social media or know me in person know that I have worked in the beauty industry off and on for about 6 years, going on 7 years. And I do get asked a lot, how do you get started? Because it's one of those, like, it feels like an industry secret sometimes. And, you know, I would love to share kind of the information that helped me. Hopefully it'll help you guys to get in there. It's not this like formulaic type of thing. It does take a lot of different steps to get into the industry. I will preface this by saying a couple of things. First off, if you see me looking in the viewfinder, you know, I just started doing this, so I'm just trying to make sure everything's good. So that's first off. Second off is this is just what has helped me when I got started. When I got started, I watched videos on how to get into, how to work at MAC, how to work at Sephora, how to work at Ulta. Those different videos helped me, and I'd like to kind of take everything that I've learned over the years, my experience with working at counters, as well as the videos that helped me, and I'd like to condense everything into an informative video that I hope you guys really enjoy. So if you are interested, go ahead. Actually, you know what? Whether you're interested in this video or not, go ahead and click subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And yeah, if you're interested in how to get into the beauty industry, go ahead and keep watching. So I do have some notes here because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm not the best at public speaking and I want everything to make sense and be right, okay? So if you see me looking down, you see me looking off, okay, that's why. So the very first thing that I would suggest that you do if you're trying to get a job in the beauty industry, working at a counter or whatnot, is, and this is no tea, no shade, but to know your skill set and be realistic. That is not to discourage anyone from doing anything, okay? What I mean by that is really self-evaluate, really ask yourself, okay, do I do really good makeup? Like, should somebody be paying me for this? Am I really good, or am I just okay? Do I just do enough for me to get to work or to go out? Because doing makeup for another person is a totally different beast. And paying someone to do, or someone paying you to do their makeup is a totally different thing. These companies are paying you to make this person look beautiful so that they spend their money. So it's really important that you are able to do makeup on other people, not just yourself. So again, I say that it's not to discourage you because I really firmly believe that anybody can be a makeup artist if they so choose. There are so many tools and things that were not available to me as they are to you guys now. You know, I read a lot of books. I read is it The Beauty of Color or The Color of Beauty by Iman. That is a great book for learning how to do makeup on women of color especially. And I had a book by Kevin O'Quan. I think it was called like something Faces. I'll have to look and see because it's been a really long time. But I had a lot of books, and I also went to modeling school when I was like 14 or 15 years old, and the only thing I really got from it was makeup. I didn't care about modeling at all. I just wanted to do makeup and be behind the scenes. So that was how I learned, okay? Now, aside from practicing on yourself, I would also highly suggest that you practice on your family and your friends, because doing makeup on another person, if you've never done it before, it is very different. It is not the same. It feels like you're doing shit backwards. It is very different. So I would definitely say start practicing on other people, start practicing on other skin tones, other skin types, people who have different needs than you, because you are going to get everybody coming to your counter, and you have to be able to think on your feet and service people really, really quickly. So make sure that you're constantly practicing. If you're not there, you can always get there. So never feel like if your skill set is not up to par that you can't do anything about it. You absolutely can. But I think it's important to be realistic, because if you know in your heart of hearts that you're only really good at doing your own makeup and all you can do is like wing liner and a red lip, maybe you're not ready. And you can get ready. That's not a problem. That's perfectly fine. But at that moment in time, you're probably not quite ready, and you should just practice a little bit more. Practice on people until you're comfortable, until you can do a lot of different looks, and then you're ready to go. Okay, another thing is, it's not always what you know, it's who you know. So when I first started, my very first makeup job was working at MAC. And when I first started, I would go in there all the time because I worked at the mall that MAC was in. And so, you know, payday comes, you already know what's happening. And so I would go into MAC and I would ask a lot of questions about products. I would ask, oh, are you getting the new blah 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 collection? When are you guys getting that? And does this do this? And just showing a lot of product knowledge. I'm not going to tell you to spend money that you don't have, but it's always a great thing to show that, you know, you are a customer. You do spend money in that particular counter, so you have product from them, you know how some of that product works, and you also have an understanding of what things are like at the counter. So that is a huge advantage. If you're really in love with the brand, show that. It shows great brand loyalty, and it makes people go, So by the time you're ready to be like, hey, are y'all hiring? They're gonna look and be like, yeah, we are, you know, and it just makes the process a little easier. So sometimes it's great to build a rapport with people who work at the counter if you don't already have one with them. Just, you know, like I said, go in there, ask questions, get to know them, make sure they know who you are. So that way when the interview comes, or I'm sorry, when it comes time to ask like, hey, are you guys hiring? Hey, are you guys hiring? It just makes things a little bit easier, and they'll be more willing to interview you, and it just gets you in the door a little bit easier. Okay, so let's say that you get the interview. What do you do now? The next thing you should do, if you don't already know, is to research the company. And I say this for any retail job that you work for. Research the company, because one of the things they're going to ask you, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, is, what do you know about company X? Tell us what you know. Another reason you want to research the company is because every company has something called a mission statement. Every retail company, every company has a mission statement, something that they stand by, kind of gives like a preview of what they're all about, what their values are, their beliefs, their morals, their ethics, and it's always a good idea to know that. Not just for the interview, but for yourself. Because if it's something that you agree with, then you're able to speak to it a little bit better and be even more passionate about that company. Okay? Because the interview is not just going to be about, hey, you know, why do you love makeup and why are you good at what you do? But it's also about being a good fit for the company. So just as much as you want them to be a good fit for you, you should be a good fit for them, and everything should be a bilateral union, okay? So look at their mission statement and look at who their target customer is. For example, you know, Urban Decay and Bobbi Brown have two completely different customer bases, and I think it's really important to know that and understand that. It's gonna help you know how to cater to the customer even better. And again, if it's something that you really stand for and you're like, oh my gosh, this is me. I love doing my makeup like that. I love doing these kinds of looks and this and this and this, and I love focusing on this. It makes things a lot easier for you to be passionate about the company. So your interview comes, what should you wear? What should you look like? All right, so this is just my opinion, and I just think it works wonderfully, but I would wear all black everything. All black everything, because that's probably 9.5 times out of 10 what you're going to be wearing anyway. You're going to be wearing all black. So definitely all black. I always wear all black to makeup interviews. Again, research the company and see kind of what they are about. You know, MAC, you can wear all black there, and they don't really have a dress code, so you can wear like halter tops, you can wear, you know, shorts, you can wear anything as long as it's all black, or at least it was like that when I was working there. So that's pretty cool, but obviously you're not going to want to bring a MAC look to like a Lancome counter, you know what I mean? So research the company again, go in there and see what they're dressed like, because it helps the interviewer even more kind of be like, I can see her working for us. Like, she looks like us, she or he looks like us. You know, I can see this person, you know, being a part of our company. So it's really important to give them that visual, give them everything. So everything should be put together, not just the makeup, but, you know, nails done, like smart accessories, hair looking great, you know, smell good, just like everything coming together, because you're not just there to sell makeup, you're there to sell the concept of beauty, and you want people to want to follow in what you're doing and follow in the trends that you're doing. So when you have it all together, you just look like you're ready to go. Again, appealing to the target customer, appealing to the environment of the store. As far as makeup, do your best look, obviously something that caters to that company. Again, using Urban Decay as an example, I wouldn't do the same makeup for an interview at Urban Decay as I would do for an interview with Dior. You know what I mean? It's a very different look. So if you're trying to figure out the differences, I would say go on their social media pages, look at their marketing, go in those stores and go to those counters and see how everyone is dressed and what they look like and how their makeup is, and that'll give you a really good idea of how you should prepare yourself for the interview. So again, do your best look that ties in with the company. Don't try anything new. I'm telling you, like, I used to get ready years in advance. It felt like I would get up so early, and I would really take my time doing my makeup. I would do my best look, whatever I felt was going to show the most skill, whatever I felt was going to cater to that company the best and make me look like a rock star. Don't try anything new. You've never done a smoky eye before. I wouldn't do it before an interview, okay? Alright, so let's talk about the actual interview. They're going to ask you a couple of questions, of course. And when they ask you something like, tell me everything you know about company X, that's when that research of the company is going to come in handy for you. So I'm not saying that you have to memorize anything, but information about these companies a lot of the time is just a Wikipedia or Google search away. And just get some interesting information from it. So, you know, I wouldn't say like, oh, this company was founded in 1865 in Paris, France, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, I would just be like, Company X was founded in 1865 by a woman who wasn't able to find anything to work for her skin. She had severe acne and she just wanted something that catered to her skin. That's an interesting fact that everyone doesn't know about the company, and it'll kind of win you some points. Again, knowing what that company stands for, what they're all about, what their core audience is, their target demographic, those things are really, really important. So let's say they ask you about some of your professional experience and you don't have any, which is why you're probably watching this. That's okay. If you have like a portfolio that you can build of the makeup that you do on yourself, your family, or your friends, it's awesome. It doesn't have to be a physical portfolio. Even like something like an Instagram page just dedicated to the makeup that you're doing is a great idea. So never discount that. Never feel like that's not good enough. It is. You don't have experience. You have to start somewhere. But you also want to show them that you have an understanding of makeup, okay? So yeah, sorry, I have to turn the page. Talk of any life experience that you have with makeup. You know, one thing that I had done before I started working at MAC was I did makeup for my cousin's wedding. I did the bridesmaids makeup, and so that was something that I could use to my advantage and talk about. You know, doing makeup for a wedding is a pretty big deal, so if you have that experience under your belt, go ahead and talk it up. Never feel like anything is too big or too small to discuss, okay? And another thing, this is like such a huge pet peeve of mine, and I could imagine that any makeup hiring manager would feel the same way. When they ask you, why do you want to work for company X? For the love of God, please do not say, because I love makeup. They know that. That's why you're here. So if you can at all, refrain from using the phrase, I love makeup. You know, I think it's great if you say something like, I have a passion for makeup. But more than anything, they want to know why you want to work for them specifically. Why do you want to work for them as opposed to working for another company? So talking up some of the things that you feel you have in common with the company is always a great thing to do here, and letting them know that you have an understanding of what they're all about and that you're completely 100% with it is great. So please don't say, I love makeup. No shit. With all respect, it's like, come on, duh. Of course you love makeup. That's why you're here. But what else? What else? Do you have a passion for it? Do you want to advance in your career? You know, what is it about this company that you feel will get you what you need? So please don't say I love makeup. Please don't say I love makeup. Okay, so a little footnote. If you have an interview that involves doing makeup on a client, sometimes that will happen, and it can be really, really scary. My very first job out the bat, working at MAC, how to do makeup on someone. And it's very scary. But again, that goes back to what I was saying about making sure that you are comfortable doing makeup on another person, because you really want to be able to be comfortable and not feel like that's another layer right there. You're doing makeup on somebody and you don't even do makeup on other people. In addition to it being an interview, it's really, really scary. So, you know, make sure that you're comfortable. Bring somebody that you can trust to actually show the fuck up. I did not have any problems. My person that I brought, she was awesome. And you know, she got there before I did, so you know, I didn't have any problems there. But bring somebody that you trust, okay? One of my biggest pet peeves is like flaky people who are not respectful of my time or, you know, what I'm doing. So I'm just like, look, I have a real problem if somebody that I trusted to come through and come, you know, assist me for my interview did not show up. I'm kicking ass. So, you know, make sure it's somebody that you trust. It doesn't hurt to do a trial on them. You know, go to their house, they come to your house, and just practice on them if it's not somebody that you've done makeup on before. What else? If you can help it, I mean, obviously I don't know what you're able to do and it's not always a possibility, but if you can help it, it's always like kind of a plus if you bring somebody who looks a little bit different than you, whether they have a different skin type or skin tone, a different ethnicity, a different bone structure, just someone who doesn't really look quite like you. My the person I brought was half Filipino, so you know, obviously we look nothing alike, and so it kind of goes to show, okay, I'm showing up with my makeup and now I've done her makeup and I'm showing you my diversity and what I can do. Especially in this day and age, it is like unacceptable to not be able to do makeup on various skin types, various skin tones, various ethnicities, being able to cater to all of that. So if you can, it's kind of like extra cool points if you do bring somebody who is different looking than you, you know, however it is. But yeah, always a good point. So when you get to the interview and you're doing the makeup on the person that you bring, make sure that you are prepared to ask them some questions. You would never just start on a client without knowing what they wanted and how to cater to certain things. So the first thing that you want to ask, even in the interview, even in this like mock interview, ask them about their skin. Ask them what their skin type is. And if they're not sure, I always say something like, either I'll say, okay, if you washed your face and didn't put any product on, what would your skin feel like after an hour? Would it feel oily? Would it feel tight? Would it feel regular? Would you have spots of oil? Would you have spots of dryness? What? Or I will ask something like, you know, when do you have the most discomfort with your skin? In the summer or the winter? If somebody has a lot of discomfort with their skin in the summertime, they're probably oily. And if they have a lot of discomfort with their skin in the winter, more than likely they're dry. So once you get that out of the way, you know what products that you can use on them, and then you want to ask them what look they're going for. So make sure that you know, are prepared to ask questions. Another part of those interviews that's super important is cleanliness when you're using brushes and sanitation. And they'll be looking at that. I will say this is a little story when I did my MAC interview. So I'm doing my makeup, you know, everything's going well. And they, you know, the guy who interviewed me gave me a little cup of brushes. And I kind of felt like for some of the things I was doing, I kind of felt like I didn't have the right brushes. So I would stop the interview and I'd be like, do you have a brush for me to do this and XYZ? I later found out when I did my sit down interview that he purposely left out some brushes to see what I was gonna do. So that had me shook as fuck. And stuff like that will happen. They will trip you up. They will kind of get in your head. I've heard of beauty interviews where it's a group interview and they tell you to bring a person, so everybody's got their person, and then they'll be like, ha, switch with that person. You're not doing the person you thought you were doing. So be prepared for all of those things. As far as sanitation and cleanliness, you know, the very first thing you want to do is, if they have hand sanitizer, use hand sanitizer or alcohol to clean your hands. With every product that you're using, you know, if you're using like a cream product, you want to scrape it out with a spatula and maybe put it on a palette. And if you're using powders, you can spray alcohol on the, like if it's powder eyeshadow or something like that, before and after you put a brush in there to apply product. Those little things, even if it's not right for that particular company, because every company has a different way that they do things, but if they just see that you're attempting to be clean and sanitary for the sake of your client, they will be very, very impressed with that. So make sure that you are cleaning as you go and being prepared, and also make sure that you are being timely. You're probably being timed for your interview and for doing makeup on your client, because that's really important when you actually start doing makeup and when you start working at a counter. You want to make sure that you're not taking forever, and that was something that I admittedly had trouble with. Even in my interview, I had trouble being on time, like with doing the makeup and everything like that, because I'm a perfectionist. But you know, you want to make sure that you are, you know, being aware of the time and everything like that. You're gonna have people who waited till the last minute to go somewhere. You're gonna have people who are getting married and you have to do a whole bridal party and things like that. So make sure that you are accounting for your time. So I think that's about everything that I have as far as tips and tricks and what has helped me. Like I said, once you really get your foot in the door, you'll find that once you start having one job on your resume for makeup, you'll find that you're able to get many others with a lot more ease. But again, like I said, this is not a Bible for how to get a job in the beauty industry, working at a counter, whatnot. It is a guideline. So take what works for you and what doesn't. Take whatever advice you feel you need and, you know, go for it. Do the interview. You know, nothing beats a failure but a try. So I wish you guys much luck. Thank you so much for tuning in to my very first YouTube video. And comment, rate, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We're gonna have a lot more videos coming your way. Also, comment and let me know what videos you would like to see from me, and I will do my best to put them out there. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next upload. Bye!